Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm really sorry if I haven't been filming regularly like I usually do. This video is a request by AsianDelight and also for Mikky and Marti, who have been requesting me lately to do more colouring videos. So I've got my Marvel Avengers colouring book that I'm going to colour in. I will be using coloured pencils because I can't use gel pens because it done this. To my, obviously this is a Captain America gel pen that I did one time on my channel, and what it did is it did that to my Iron Man. I've had to rip out that page which was here because it's gone through the other page, so it's done this as well, the Captain Marvel, so it's kind of made it all red and green. With Iron Man it's not a problem because I can just colour it like over it and it won't matter, but yeah, it did that, so I'm not using gel pens for now with this because I think with the paper it's not as thick as it should be. Before I start the video, please like this video, and if you're new to the channel, subscribe, and don't forget to click on the notification bell so you're updated about any future videos as well. And before I start the video, I'm going to talk about my TikTok. I have a TikTok now where I do filters with music. I do need to do some more TikToks actually, but I haven't had a chance to do that because I've been busy and not had a chance. But I will be doing some more on there, but I basically do filters with music. And if you want to follow me on TikTok, I will leave the link in the description box below. So this is the Marvel thing, a Marvel colouring book. I'm going to colour in a certain one. Last time I did this, I did Captain America, which went completely wrong because it's literally where it's a pen and it's not thick paper, it's all thin. It's gone through the other pages, which I kind of guessed it would because it's like proper gel pen. I need new gel pens as well for my colouring videos, so I haven't done one in a while now. This will be soft spoken as well. I'm not whispering with this. I was going to colour Loki in this and talk about a little bit about the Loki series, but I don't really want to do that because I want to leave that for a separate video so I can talk about the individual episodes. All I will say to you is I liked the season 2 overall. I'm not going to go into the story or anything, but I liked the season 2 overall. I just didn't like the ending of, the last series, which was season 2. And I can actually colour in Loki and talk about the last bit of the series, but then I could probably do all the individual episodes as a separate video where I just ramble about it. I will ramble about it in full detail, but obviously my favourite villain is of course Loki. As everyone will know, obviously Tom Hiddleston plays Loki in the MCU, but he's my favourite villain. I'm kind of in between now with Loki as a whole because regarding to the season 2, I don't know if anyone's seen it, but I didn't like the ending of season 2, and I feel like the Marvel now have practically ruined the character for me. I don't know if there's hope for the character, but I kind of just think in hindsight they should have actually killed. I heard in the news somewhere that they was planning on killing Tom Hiddleston's character, who's Loki, in For the Dark World. So they weren't going to make Thor Ragnarok as a whole. So I'm going to colour Loki in, and I will talk about the last season, the season 2, and I will talk about this last episode with you. If you haven't watched season 2 Loki, and you're not aware of what has happened within the series, then please do not watch this, because there will be a lot of spoilers that I'm going to share. I will be talking about this individually as well, so don't worry about... I might talk a bit about it actually, and then obviously I will do videos where I, actually talk about it and we ramble. But here's my colouring pencils. I recently bought these ones. They're new as well. They're from the works that I go to. The colouring books I get from Aldi, but I sometimes get my pencils and my drawings. Well, I get my drawing pad from the works, which is a shop, very good shop. It's my favourite shop because it just has everything in there. But yeah, here's the colouring pencils. For Loki, I think I don't have gold. I do with my gel pens, but I don't want to do it in case. But we'll use yellow instead of gold. I think it's green as well. And I'm assuming there's a bit of black in there, but I'm not sure because I'm not accurate with it. Because Loki's colours are usually gold, green and black. I don't think they were originally in the Norse, because the Norse is different to the comics and everything. Oh, I can't seem to find my black. I think this is black. I have been drawing lately as well, which I will probably show you some of my Halloween drawings that I did on Halloween. I was meant to do more, but I also have this as well, which I will show you. This is my pencil case. Some sounds of it. But this is got just pencils and colours in there, like colouring pencils in there, but I'm just going to use my new ones. I was just bringing this in case I needed it. But I can't close it now because I'm holding the camera as well, so it may be a bit jolly. But anyway, so I'm going to talk a little bit about, I'll talk a bit about the Loki series as well, and I might go in depth with Loki because Loki is the one I'm going to colour. And I usually talk about something within the video when I'm colouring, so I'll do a little bit of history behind Loki for anyone that doesn't know, if they're new. Obviously, so Loki is a villain in the MCU. Trying to think now. Sorry. And he's played by Tom Hiddleston as a whole in as Loki. And I still can't believe that Tom has played Loki for 14 years now. I thought it was 11 to 12 years, but it isn't, because it was when they first started doing Thor, it was like a 6-month audition process, and he started doing it in 2009, so in a way he's kind of right, and I might have been a bit wrong. So his colours are usually green, gold and black. So I'll do his cape green. I'll try to zoom in as much as possible so you can see the colour. But yeah, there's different types with Loki, because in the Norse mythology it's very different to the MCU as a whole. But it usually goes into the Norse and the comics with Loki. Sometimes it has with the series a little bit, but his cape is green, and pretty much everything's green. It's also gold as well, but I don't have a gold, so I'm using yellow for this as well. So, but yeah, I wasn't happy with it, the new season. So in the Norse mythology, which I've mentioned a few times, is Loki usually has different hair colour type to how he does in the Marvel films. He did go into the Norse and that, but I'll tell you about the Norse. So Loki doesn't usually look like this in the Norse mythology. He has red hair, and he's still the god of mischief. He's still a trickster as by trade, but he's in there's a few stories I read as well with it, but he's basically not related to Thor in the Norse mythology. They're just best friends in the Norse mythology, and his brother in the Norse mythology is Balder. And in a way, kind of, Odin in the Norse kind of becomes his sort of brother in a way. There's like there is stories behind the Norse where he actually befriends Thor, but he's all like evil and everything, like in the, in the films as well. And then in the comics and the movies, he's played by Tom Hiddleston, who's one of my favourite actors, who I adore. I hopefully want to meet him one day if I ever get the chance. But he's brilliant. He plays the character Loki really well as a whole. But I will talk about the last season of season 2 now, because this is where I'm trying to get into. This is probably not going to be neat either, because I'm just talking and sort of doing it. Hopefully you can hear the sounds of it. But yeah, I wasn't happy with how they killed the character off. Because what happened in the last season was really bad. I liked the season overall because it was very funny in parts, and it was very fun to watch. But then as soon as it got to like the last season, I was on to the last season and I watched it last Friday, and I wasn't happy with the ending. I think they should have done a happier ending for Loki, but it didn't work out, and I knew they was kind of going to do the same thing before. I mean, I'm just not over it. I've been kind of upset. I was crying after it had finished. So there's a lot of people that will probably have the same feelings as me if they've seen the season. Because, I love Loki. He's like my favourite villain in the franchise. For them to do that is not cool. This is a very light green as well, which is annoying. But basically what happened in the last season was, as you know, you have, I'll recap from the first season so people understand, and then I'll talk about the end series as a whole. So in the Loki series, if you haven't seen the first season, it was all to do with Endgame, and the Avengers went back in time, and things got messed up, and apparently Loki basically takes the 2012 Loki takes the Tesseract and teleports to another realm, but you don't see where he goes to in the Endgame. But then obviously in the Loki series you do, and he goes to another realm, and he's basically diverted off the timeline, because he was meant to die by the hands of Thanos in his timeline, but he didn't. So, he he teleports to another realm, and then obviously there's this new thing which is called the Time Balance Authority, which stands for, and they have this cool motto which is that says for all time always, and the TV area people like that make sure time is to standards. And so he first meets them, and they say to him, they basically at first they just, because he's done what he's done, it's kind of like a crime, and they want to sort of, Renslayer, who is brutal, wants to just you know brutalize him in a way, and he ends up, Owen Wilson, who is Mobius, and Mobius ends up trying to say, well, we could help this guy, we could help him understand who he really is. And Loki's a villain, so he's always going to be bad. And it was that he basically blames the Avengers to Renslayer, and then Ray says, what the Avengers did was supposed to happen, what you did was not supposed to happen. But long story short, we get to the end of the season 1, and there's this guy who's called He Who Remains, who is also known as Kang Conqueror, which everyone found out. And he basically tells them that they have 2 options. And one of the options is to either be on his side and or they can kill him, but if they kill him, it will basically cause a multiverse. So obviously Sylvie thinks he's lying and everything else, and then obviously Loki comes down to her and says, oh, look, I just want you to be alright. I'm not gonna betray you. And she thinks that he's gonna betray her, and he says, I just want you to be okay. And they basically kiss. I'm not a particular a fan now of Sylvie. I was from the first season, but now I find her really irritating and annoying now, and in hindsight I wish I didn't like the character because of season 2 and everything, which I will talk about in more detail in another video. But I would just say the ending was terrible for season 2. But anyway, basically Sylvie kills He Who Remains, and it causes a multiverse. And that's basically the end of season 1. And it kind of carries on to sort of answer, your questions to, sort of season 2, which is a new series. And I have been watching it, but I just haven't had time to sort of talk about it. I'm sorry, I'm just going to zoom in because no one can see the colours. So annoying. But yeah, I'm just going to do this in yellow because I don't have a gold, which is really annoying. It might not even be neat for all you know. But yeah, his helmet's gold. But yeah, anyway, in season 2, the end series, which we'll talk about, is Marvel kind of have destroyed another character like they did with Iron Man and Captain America and everything else. So I'm not happy, and I've not been happy for weeks now because of that. And I kind of don't want to watch anything with Loki in now because of that reason. I know it's kind of being a bit weird. It's just a TV series, fine. Don't get overly dramatic. But yeah, Jeff has probably been going about it on his video as well. And I've just not been happy with it. But yeah. But basically what happens is the episode is called Glorious Purpose. And I remember from the first season of Loki that the first episode was called Glorious Purpose because, as you know, Loki's famous line is, I'm Loki, god of Asgard, and I'm burdened with glorious purpose. I don't know if that's the right line or not, but he says that. And it's basically called that because from the first season. And so I watched some of it, and basically from the previous episode, he basically has to stop the spike from happening, and it keeps going over and over and over again with. There's this guy called Victor Timely, who is one of Kang's Virants, who is helping them. But he ends up he got destroyed in the previous one, and then Loki tries to get answers. He also has this new power, which is like time slipping as well, as a whole, where he can go to place to place to place. So he keeps time shifting and trying to sort out the time thing properly. In the last season from the previous episode, and he doesn't succeed with it. So he has to keep going back in time to keep trying to alter things. So he goes back to the bit where from the last season where he's in that realm part where he remains is there, and he tries to stop it from happening. But when he tries to stop it from happening, Sylvie keeps saying, "You'll have to fight me. I'm not going to let you get away with it." And so he has to keep fighting her, and he keeps going round and round in circles. And then eventually he says that you have a choice to do with something to do with the loom of time and something else. And it's just something that you just can't alter with the timeline in the first place, which I said when me and Jeff was watching it. But yeah. I didn't like the character Sylvie in this season too, because she was a bit of a pain in the arse. She was really stubborn, and she's actually a lot worse than, like, I would say Loki is, because Loki was horrible when he was evil, but when in this he's a sort of, like, I would say he's a sort of good guy. He's sort of deemed as a hero now in season 2, due to the fact that he's been helping the Time Balance Authority, and he's become friends with Morbius and everything else. But yeah, he basically has a choice, and he goes back to Morbius, and they kind of have a chat with each other, and he says, "I either have a choice, either one of us dies or lives," and he sacrifices himself, and goes outside, and he has this sort of like different costume, and his horns are different to how they are in this drawing. And he basically, grabs hold of the timeline where all the lines are, and uses his magic to vaporize, the timelines. And he basically, at the end, goes through this like tiny little gap, which is where he remains as supposed to be, but he's not there now, and he's like, he basically gets what he wanted in the first bit, which is his own throne where he just sits on it and he observes, and he becomes this sort of new thing, which is the god of time, but he sacrifices himself for his friends. And in my opinion, I don't mind that he sacrificed himself for like Morbius, but he sacrificed himself for like Sylvie also, and Sylvie's the worst character in that series now. I really hate her. I'm sorry to Sophie DiMartino, she plays the character so well, and it's such a shame. But anyway, he basically sacrifices himself, and his character's just killed off, and he's basically like the god of time, Zeno. And they said that the only way he could probably come back is if, let's say, he had other variants around that could sort of take over, as if he was to say come back in, like, say, Deadpool 3 apparently, that's coming out like next year. It's supposed to go in depth with the multiverse again, and you'll have the TVA in it, but I don't know if Loki's confirmed to be in it. And there's the Avengers as well, which is a new one with Kang. So yeah, anyway, that's a long story that I've just shared, but yeah, I hope you're enjoying the video, guys. I'm just colouring and talking because it's all I can do. But I thought I'd do this for the two fans, like AsianDelight and Mikky, because they requested me to do it, and I haven't done it in a while. But yeah, I don't want to make this video very long, so I'm just gonna colour the cave a bit more, and then I'm probably gonna finish it off here because I've been talking and I've been doing that. But we've pretty much coloured some of it. It's probably not neat, however. I'm trying to think which one's black, like which part is black. I think it's the middle that's black, so I'm just gonna do this bit. Yeah, And then anyway, after I'd watched it, I was crying my eyes out. I was in tears because I thought, oh my gosh, they've just killed off one of the characters that I really, really like. And he's my favourite as well, Loki. And it's just not fair. I mean, if you've seen it, what's your reaction to the end season? Like, leave your information in the comments. Like, just let me know, like, what did you think of the second season of Loki? Whether you thought the ending did Loki justice or it didn't. I don't think it did, but that's just my opinion. I've been upset for like a week or so now about it. And it was funny because today on TikTok, Loki came up, like Tom Hiddleston who plays Loki came up as a sort of reminder to me. And I was just like saying, I don't mention the L word anymore. It's kind of weird that I'm colouring this in, and it's a Loki sort of draw. It's a Loki, it's a Loki character, and I'm colouring it in, and I'm talking about Loki because I shouldn't really, because I'm upset about it. But this is for my video, for my fans, so I can't really. I don't know if you can actually see this colour. It's kind of black, but it doesn't go black on this piece of paper because it's very fine paper. I just do not like every black I ever get from another, like, sort of, I mean, I'm doing this with pencil. If I did it with gel pen, you would be able to see the black. But I just don't want to do it with gel pen because it could ruin the paper and it's very fine. But anyway. And that's probably not neat, and I can't really see because I'm kind of holding my camera and all this. I'm seeing it and I'm filming it, so. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video nonetheless, guys. I'm just gonna sort of try and get this a bit more with colour. I'm just gonna try and neaten it up so that it doesn't look messy, if you know what I mean. I've done it pretty much. But there you go, I've pretty much coloured it in. I know it's not fully coloured in, but I just don't want the video to be too long. And I pretty much talked about Loki as well as colouring it in. I hope you enjoyed this request, Asian and Mikky. If you're still watching this video to the end. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful day today. I will be back making more videos. I'll try to be more frequent with videos as well. I will talk about the Loki series in more detail as well. Like maybe at a later date, like when I get a chance, because I do want to talk about it more in depth as well. So I will be doing that. But anyway, stay tuned for videos, and I will see you all guys in the next video. Bye guys.